Hello everyone, this is JR again from Unstressed Life, and today I'm going to be talking about a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is about worrying. Not just regular worrying, but excessive or chronic worrying. If you're like me, you probably worry too much and can really put yourself in a tailspin. A lot of times, I know for me personally, before I really broke this habit, I'd find myself just always coming up with these worst case scenarios. What if I fail? What if I get fired? What if I make a fool of myself? What if they don't like me? These things, can really become destructive. And so, I want to talk to you about some tips, actually some actually surprisingly simple tips to kind of help you break this habit. But first, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what worry is. And this quote from Irma Bombeck really resonates with me. And she says, "Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but never gets you anywhere." And I think that's so true, because if you're not careful, worry can just zap you of all your energy. It fills you with all this negative emotion, and it really takes away from your ability just to live in the here and now and be present in the moment. And so I think the good thing about this is, if you are a chronic worrier, is it's a habit, and habits can be broken. And so I want to give you, several tips here to help you break this vicious cycle, because like I used to really worry a lot, and I found these to be very helpful. Chronic worrying also can cause a host of physical issues and make you really sick. Worrying releases the stress hormone cortisol, which causes all kinds of physical problems. Some of these problems include difficulty swallowing, dizziness, dry mouth, rapid heartbeat, fatigue, headaches, inability to concentrate, irritability, muscle aches and tension, nausea, nervous energy, rapid breathing, shortness of breath, sweating, as well as trembling and twitching. That is a laundry list of negative outcomes from worrying all the time. So if nothing else, you want to get control of this so you can regain control of your life and your health. Most of the things you worry about actually never happen. So think back to a time in your life when you were extremely worried and you ran through a bunch of worst case scenarios. I bet you probably, 10% of the time, or 1 out of 10 times, that scenario actually came true. And even if it did come true, the outcome probably wasn't as bad as you thought it would be. So keep that in mind, when you do get into a worry spin, is that most likely that what you're worried about won't happen. If you're not familiar with the 5-second rule, I'd highly, highly recommend that you research it and read the book by Mel Robbins. This book was a real game changer for me, but this rule is very simple, and you can apply it to many scenarios in your life, and it really helped me get a hold of my worrying issues. And really simply, all I would do is count backwards from 5, and it's going to sound ridiculous, but I would just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop worrying, either in my head or out loud, just to break that cycle that was in my head. So I would just say, the next time you find yourself really spinning yourself up, as you're getting stressed out and you just keep running through scenarios in your brain, just try it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Again, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it actually works. And so something that I highly recommend, and you can put that in practice today. The other thing that I think is really important is exercise. So the beauty of exercise is that, it's really tough to be worried when you're kicking your butt with a really tough workout. And research has shown that when you're exercising, you're actually releasing serotonin in your brain, which is a chemical that makes you happy. So I know, when I was dealing with some very tough issues in my life, when my parents were sick and ultimately they ended up dying, is I would go on long walks or bike rides or just hit the gym really hard, just to kind of clear my mind, and also give myself, whether it be an hour or two of just a time when I wasn't worried and I wasn't stressed. So try applying just more exercise into your daily routine, and you may be surprised that how much it can actually help you. And I think this is a really important tip as well, which is understand there are things in your life that you can't control. And if you've heard of the serenity prayer, it really capitalizes or captures this sentiment perfectly. And that is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that is a really important statement, because if there are things in your life you cannot change, you really shouldn't spend so much time worrying about them. Prepare for them, prepare for situations as they may occur. You never want to be caught just completely, with your pants down, but, and get prepared, but understand that, sometimes in life, there's just things that are going to happen that you can't control. And so, as opposed to just getting super worked up about it and, just working yourself up into a frenzy, just let it go. Designate worry time. So what do I mean by that? So one thing, if you find yourself worrying throughout the day, it's just not going to be helpful. So try setting aside 30 minutes a day, and when that will be the time you'll worry to your heart's content and think through your problems. But while you're doing it, do it in a way that's constructive, and try to come up with solutions such as, hey, what am I going to do about this terrible job that I have that I really hate going to, which is one of my current concerns. But, what are you going to do to come up with solutions for the things that are causing you to worry? But try to compress that into a 30-minute time period. And then once you're done with worry time, move on. And if you find yourself starting to worry again, try some of these other tips, like the 5-second rule, or just deep breathing, or just anything to try to get your mind back into a better place. Cut yourself some slack. Realize that you're not perfect. So don't be so hard on yourself all the time. So what if you messed up in that meeting at work? So what if, you fell down or something crazy happened to you? You're not perfect. So, do the best that you can and move forward. I think this quote, I really like this quote by Cheryl Richardson. She says, if beating yourself up worked, you'd be rich, thin, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. And I really think those are true words, because, beating yourself up over a mistake you made really isn't going to do anything for you except, really put you in a bad place mentally. Another thing that you can put into motion right now is, especially when you're feeling yourself worrying just out of control, is breathe slowly and deeply. Deep breathing has been shown to lower stress and anxiety. So the next time you feel yourself getting worked up, try the 4-7-8 breathing method. So the 4-7-8 method is really this. So what you do is, first exhale completely through your mouth. Then inhale through your nose while you count to 4. Then hold your breath while you count to 7. And then exhale for 8 seconds. And if you need to, repeat this a few times. But you'll find that through this, you'll release a lot of your tension, and you'll really just feel as if, you're letting go of all your cares. And it's amazing just how taking a step back, it can really improve your overall mood. And as part of that, it's good to practice mindfulness and just understanding where you are, where you are in the world, what's around you, what's surrounding you, but just being very present. And lastly, I would say do something you enjoy. If all else fails and you just find yourself worrying all the time, take a break and do something fun. Go watch a movie, hang out with friends. Try to really just break the cycle. For myself, I enjoy playing video games, so maybe I'll spend an hour or two playing my favorite game. But just give yourself a break and do something that you enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, we would appreciate it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out our website at unstressedlife.com. So as always, remember to love yourself, love your family, and most importantly, love life. Until next time, this has been JR from Unstressed Life.